All right. Yo, what up? What up? I'm trying to figure something out here on this thing. Trying to figure something out here. Going over here with y'all. Yo, what up? What up? Good to see y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you. And all that good stuff. Oh man. Yep. 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 Out here in these streets, getting ready. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Throw a one in there real quick if you can hear me and if the volume is good. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Okay, perfect, perfect. Thanks. Oh man, what's been going on with you, Caprentice? Because I know you've been out there rocking and rolling with this bad boy. You doing your thing, man. So Caprentice full time. He's out there doing it. So I'm very very proud of you and stuff. All right, thank you, thank you. All right, thanks. So yeah, so whoo boy, this has already been a year. Look, I failed, y'all. I failed at one thing this year. My one of my goals, one of my channel was a goal of mine this year, and it was not to have back to back signings, meaning like a 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock type. And sure enough, I had one yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? What's the day? Wednesday, Monday, something like that. But yeah, I that fell apart left and right. I ended up, man, I ended up, having a 2, 3, and 4 o'clock one. Good, man. 21 so far this month. That's excellent. I haven't even counted. But let you buy. It's the car. Okay, come on, people. No, that's right. This is rush hour. I'm like, why are people acting like this on this road? This is rush hour, and I got to put some gas in the car too. But um, but yeah. So yeah, so far this month everything's been cool. Orders are coming in. Got a one scheduling conflict on Monday. I'm trying to work out, but other than that, the orders have been coming in. Great. Learning from me. Hey man, I appreciate that. Look, I'm just out here trying to get my grind on, do what I need to do for the business and to help the notaries out, to be an example and stuff. And I know there are people out here who, it's like, well, you can learn. Yeah, you can learn from anybody, but it says something when somebody is out here in the streets doing it currently and giving you what is going on out here and not just the high level. And there's nothing wrong with high level stuff, but sometimes you need to know what the nitty gritty is that's going on out here and everything. So I'm just out here working it. It's just not my personality to be locked down and just in front of a computer all day teaching. That's just not me. Some people are good at it, but I think sometimes it's good for the teacher to get out of the classroom and out in the field. And the old saying is, don't take training, don't learn business from a professor, a business school person, because most professors have never ran a business. They're just talking about business from a theoretical aspect and stuff. So that's my thing. It just has to be a balance of making sure that you're getting all your information from a variety of sources, and that the people who sharing stuff with you is telling you the truth about it, and not just making up stuff just to get your money. That's the big thing, and that is just life. Okay, that is life and everything. And I just remember one other thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about. On top of this topic here, because I got probably a 40-minute drive to my house inspection. So I figured let me get on here and do a live now because I don't know if I'm gonna have time later tonight. But real quick, while it's on my mind, a lot of you want your notary business or any business you have to be conflict free and issue free. But here's the thing: most top-notch business men and women, they will not work with you if you have not gone through some stuff and had some adversity in your business. And there are a lot of notaries out here, a lot of people who have various businesses or a business, and they don't want any kind of conflict, any kind of adversity in their business. And throw a one in the chat for me real quick if during your time as a notary, you've gotten the impression that there are people out here who like to brag about not having any conflict in their business, even if it's not notary business, but they come across like, I have no problems in my business. I have no issues in my business whatsoever. If you've heard that or gotten that vibe from somebody, man, woman, young, old, don't matter, type of one in the chat that, to indicate that, yeah, I've heard people come across like, I'm out here in this business and I have no issues whatsoever. I'm just, there's no conflicts, there's no difficulties or any of that. And I've been seeing that from the longest, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little upset with myself that it didn't click in before now. But there's a guy named Vushi, Vushi. If you look him up on the internet, black guy from South Africa, bald head. I post stuff about him from time to time. Vushi actually says that they would not, his company, and he does investing in business owners. He will not invest in a business owner if they haven't gone through some stuff. If the business owner hasn't gone through some difficulty, some adversity, they won't mess with them. And that is, and when you think about it, if you've gone through some stuff and grown your business from ground up, staying up late at night, going out in the rain, doing this, doing that, and then you get with somebody who's like la 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 and don't have no difficulties, it's like, sometimes people don't even want to date somebody who ain't gone through some stuff. Some people don't even, it's like, I don't even want to marry you if you ain't had at least a little bit of a heartbreak or something, because you don't know how to deal with adversity because everything is just so laid out for you and you want everything to be perfect. And that's a problem for some people because it's like they don't know how to deal with conflict, anything. It's just, everything got to be perfect for them. So you got to keep in mind that if you can't prove to a company how you would handle a difficult situation, and we all know from our W-2 world, that's a question that's asked of us in job interviews. How would you handle this such and such situation? If you're the manager and 3 of your employees call out and then when you're on lunch break, you see them across the street there laughing and joking and giggling, how would you handle that? You see what I'm saying? How would you handle asking, you're giving the employees something to do, and then somebody from upper management comes in and overrides you and embarrasses you in front of them by saying you ain't got to listen to what he said, just do what I say. How would you handle that? That's the hallmark of your business, because you're going to have difficulties. But if you are surrounding yourself around people who have not had or act like they can't admit that they've had some complexities in their business life, some difficulties, like that song I mentioned to y'all, I won't complain. I've had some weary days. I've had some hills to climb, but I won't complain. You don't have to complain, but daggone, you still got to deal with it. Because if you had a hill to climb, that means you dealt with the hill to climb and you got to the top. You're not going to complain about the fact that you had a hill to climb, but you will climb that hill. And you got some folk out here, they ain't climbing nobody's hill. They ain't climbing. They ain't dealing with no rainy days. They ain't dealing with nothing. So Keep that in mind. Now, that transitions over into my other part of the topic here, which is about when do I switch over from general notary work from loan closings. And I talked about, and I'm bringing this up because the video I did earlier, a fingerprinting guru gentleman and the other person, they made comments about just doing general notary work. And I said, you know what? I never really dealt with that. You know, how do you switch over to just doing it? And that, and I'll be honest, off the top of my head, yes, Vushi, yes. Yeah, that's him right there. That is the guy. I'm telling you, y'all, if you want him and Chris Doe, Chris Do, if you want to talk about some business strategies and some marketing stuff, those two are the people you need to listen to. Chris Doe has a company called Future, Futur. His YouTube channel is called The Future, Futur. I'm telling you, them two gentlemen, I listen to them. They solid. They solid. But when switching over to nothing but general notary work, you have to really, even more so, be ready to rock and roll. Case in point, I'm just leaving from a general notary work, a GNW. And this gentleman I met doing a loan closing. And see, a lot of my GNW work comes from me doing loan closings. Meaning I go do the loan closing that's from a signing company that's taken 5 years to pay me. And I end up getting a person who says, hey, can you come back and do this power of attorney, this will, or these documents? I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you. Okay, cool. Give me your card. And then maybe 3 or 4 months later, I get a phone call. Hey, can you come over? Well, I did that for a gentleman. He called me. I mean, I went and did his closing. Great guy. Wonderful man. His wife is cool. Haven't met his kids. I know he got some kids, but haven't seen them. And cool doggies and all that. And for the last year and a half, 2 years, this guy been calling me like, hey, can you come by and do a notary for me? Hey, can you come by? And either he'll call me or his wife will call me. And I've been knocking this bad boy out for really almost 2 years now. Now, is it big money each and every time? No. But he gives me great tips. He gave me a huge, nice little tip this time. He gave me a really nice tip this time. Almost like it's really like a take the wife out to dinner tip, okay? So he took care of me, because whenever he calls, I show up. And when I was thinking about, and give me some ideas of what y'all think, put in the chat, what y'all think you need to consider in going into just nothing but GNW. So this is sort of a brainstorming class. And my man Jeff says, I am doing apostille, GNW, fingerprinting. Sometimes I do alone. Cool. Now, Jeff, put in the chat, what did you see that you needed to have to be done in order for you to successfully do GNW? What was the kicker for you? Now, I'm gonna just throw out some thoughts here, just brainstorm it, okay? All of this is unscripted. The first thing is availability of work, because I'm looking at this from the standpoint of me going to a bank person and saying, hey, Mr. Bank person or Miss Bank person, I need a loan so I can expand my general notary work business. And we're going to assume that they understand what that means, which they don't, but we're going to pretend like they do. Well, they say, well, that's nice, Griff, but we need to know what is the market share of GNW that you currently have or that you're looking to get. And what is the volume of work that you see out there in your research that you've done to verify whether or not this is something viable? So the first thing you got to get an idea of, what would somebody need done? Of course, we know the wills, power of attorneys, estate planning. Like this guy, he had an affidavit. Don't know what it was about, but he had an affidavit for something that he's working with somebody on, something construction wise. How often are people needing that type of work in your area, your immediate area? And How far are you willing to travel to go to it if it's not that much in your area, but it's in another area? And yes, we talked similar to this on a live, I think, or a video I did not too long ago. And I'm like, okay, well, that's one thing. Now the question is your availability. To me, I think you have to make sure that you're even more available with GNW than loan closings, because at least with loan closings, it's easier for you, especially if it's through signing services, for you to say no, because the order will come through and you be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Order come through for today at 3 o'clock, and it's what time is it now? It's two. I mean, yeah, it's 2:15. You be like, nah, I can't do it. You just say no. But when it comes to GNW, and if that's all you're doing, it's like, okay, I might have to be a little bit more readily available. This is just my thought. And if I'm incorrect in this, please show me some grace. But I'm feeling that you have to be even more available for the GNW than you can for this, because the GNW, a lot of times, unless you have that leeway for somebody to call you today for 3 o'clock and you say, well, no, I'll do it tomorrow at 1. If you have that leeway, then that's cool. Sometimes I don't. Now, with this client that I just finished, I have a little bit of leeway with them. I do. I can sort of say that. And that's what ended up happening, where they wanted me to come earlier today, this morning. And I was like, nah, I can't come this morning, but I can come um, in the afternoon. And they said, okay, fine. So I went over there this afternoon. But ironically, I received 6 GNW calls this year. Every single one, I was on my way to an appointment. And see, that happens to me. So I'm assuming you're going to a different appointment, but then you get a call for a GNW. So what I see is this, and maybe you can help me understand this. And I know Frank is a big GNW guy, Frank down there in Lower Alabama. So help me understand something, Jeff, and anybody. To me, it seems like something has to give. In other words, I got to reduce my availability to loan closings in order to do GNW. Because as much as I'm doing with the loan closing, 5 to 7 of these a day in some cases, I don't have the bandwidth to just stop and go do a GNW. Now today I only got 3. I had a 10 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, 9:30, 11:30, and then I got a 6 p.m. So I had the time. But if my normal client, if they would have called me during, okay, cops out here today. If they would have called me during my a busy day, I might not have been able to get to them. And that has happened before, where I had to get to them at like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, because that was the only time available. You get what I'm saying? And stuff. So what plan is it? So, oh, and I'm sorry, that was Jessica did that. I said Jeff. So, yep, always heading to a loan signing. Yeah. So it's like it's nothing wrong with the GNWs, but if you're busy with the loan closings, you might have to pull back from them. Just like I figured that's what I'm gonna have to do if I'm gonna get deeper into apostille. If you're going to get deeper into fingerprinting, the bottom line is if you're going to transition from loan closing, you're going to have to probably spend some time stacking some coins up so you can then shift over from that. Because if you stack some coins up, it's like, okay, well, let me go ahead on and have me a cushion of money, because that GNW phone call might not come right away. Now, if you are constantly getting them like 4 or 5 a day, and you're able to charge, I guess, maybe say $50 to $100 a pop, then you might be able to switch over quicker. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know, because I've really never looked into this. But I think it's something that we have to consider. And because a lot of people are getting stressed over waiting how long it takes to get paid, not getting selected. But then when they do get a GNW, per their state law, they can't charge but so much. Now, can they illegally charge a person and make up some little fake stuff? Well, I'm gonna charge you convenience fees and this, that, and the other. Yes, there are people who do that. There are people who do that, and you can do that if you want. And if you choose to do so, then you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that if you get caught. All right, I thought so. Get off over here. You know, I'm the type. I'm just gonna stick with the state mandated fees as best I can. Um, you know, and I say as best I can, um, because I mean, there can be a unique situation that may come up. You know, especially if you're dealing with companies, dealing with a corp to corp type of deal. But when I'm dealing with the general public, I stick with the state mandated fees. I get calls all the time for general notary on power of attorneys or a document, a settlement statement, something simple. And I just charge them 25. I'm like, here you go, 25. It's nothing, it's a one page or a 2-page thing. I just charge them 25 and I call it a day, you know, because because most of the time they're really in dire need. So there's no need for me to charge them an arm and a leg. But that's primarily because I get my money mainly from loan closings. Now, if I was getting money mainly from um, the GNW and a private company contacting me, the fee will more likely be much higher. And this is okay. That's a signature closes. That's sucker going already. All right, let me get my thing up. All right. So what's y'all thoughts? So it says correct. I have been working on things for 2 years. Must have the cash flow. Can't just drop what you're currently doing. That's the heart of what I feel. You know, that's the heart of what I feel is that we can't just drop it just because now it's easy to drop when you aren't doing loan closing. You're trying to do them and you're not really making a whole lot of money. It's easy like, man, screw this. I'm gonna just go do something else. That's a whole lot easier to do. But if you in the midst and you got a lot of loan closing, I mean, but the problem you're faced with is a lack of people paying you in a timely manner. Now you got to really figure some stuff out. You're getting paid, and I know the cloud signing thing. They ain't paying people. They're not. I know cloud signing for whatever reason they're just not paying people, and for whatever crazy reason they are hot and heavy in my area right now. I'm talking about sometimes 8 notifications a day I'm seeing from them, or I won't say not a day, 8 notifications in one day. And I'm like, I can't mess with you right now, dog, because you doing my notary people wrong. So I can't rock with you. And the orders for them are simple. Hey, what's going on, my man? What's going on? The orders are simple enough, but if you're gonna take forever in the day and beyond to pay, so you got to find a way to transition over. So this is where business planning come in. This is where you thinking outside of the box and not just thinking, just funneling down. And again, this is not buying into the narrative that a lot of TMCs are pushing out there. People are pushing that, oh, there's money in just estate planning. There's money in apostle. There's money in here. As a business owner, you got to be flexible. You have to be flexible. And if you're not willing to be flexible and available to do a little bit of everything, especially with this business, it's going to be hard. So am I opposed to general notary? No, I will do it if I have the opportunity. Is it my preferred thing to do? No, it's not. Will I do apostille? Yes. But unfortunately, every time I look on the Secretary of State, their site for apostille the appointments, they book the whole 2 weeks. As soon as they put them up, boom, boom, boom. And I'm not the type of person that's going to go and book a bunch of appointments just as placeholders in case I happen to get one. And then I don't do that. I'm not doing that because I feel there's people who really need these appointments. Let them have it. you know. So if I'm doing a apostille, I have to let the people know right up front, it's going to be at least 10 days because I got to mail this out. And if you want it faster, I can't help you because all the appointments are taken. So that's another reason why I don't really push the apostille, is because I know I'm gonna have to do the mailing ones. And if the person is trying to get, it done in a week or the next day or a couple of days, there's no way I'm gonna do that because I'm booked down with 5 to 7 closings, 2 or 3 house inspections. Like I got 2 house inspections today, or actually 3, but the third one I can probably do tomorrow. But if I can squeeze it in, I will today. So 3 closings, 3 house inspections. That's 6 appointments, and then I had to throw in the general notary. And then you want me to go ride an hour and a half to Richmond for an apostille? Yeah, you might be paying me $500 or $700, but do I actually have the time? Because if I'm already booked, these are the things that you as a business owner have to take into consideration. So to me, the simple way to properly transition over into general notary work is, one, you got to make sure you got some coins in the bank. If you don't have money in the bank, then it's going to be hard, because if you're doing this full time and this is your main line of income, you got to have a nest egg to keep your business running and all of that. But then I wouldn't turn away from doing the loan closings altogether. And the reason why is because there's a chance that you might need that loan closing, just like I needed that um general notary for the day. I was like, I wouldn't need to, yeah, okay, cool, I'll do it. And I can go over there, and I didn't expect him to pay me what he paid me, but hey, he paid me nicely. So I'm like, all right, bet. That really helped out my bottom line. I'm like, all right, cool, got some coins. So you got to stack up. And if you don't, or unless you have a job, you know, retirement, other money that you can lean on while you getting your name out there, cool. Now you got to market. Now this, most definitely you have to market when it comes to GNW. Jeff is saying there is opportunity everywhere. One just needs to go after what kind of business they resonate with. Correct. And that's the key. You know what? Thank you, Jeff. That was the word I've been looking for all these months. Resonate. What fits you? Not every aspect of this business fits every person. So what fits me may not fit you, but there is something in this business that fits. So do what fits. And that's why I've been really, really adamant about saying, stop making people feel bad about doing certain aspects of the business that you personally don't like. You personally don't like whatever. And the people who are doing that are primarily people who got something to sell you. And I'm cool with a lot of these people, but I still think it's wrong for you to sit there and make somebody feel bad about dating. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of an example at the same time. Feel bad about taking particular types of orders for different parts of this business because you got a problem with it. That's like a young lady who likes to date guys who are less than 5'10". She likes short guys, okay? A height challenge guy. She like those kind of guys. Just because your girls don't or you date, just because this other girl don't like dating short guy because she had a problem with, don't mean she should be mad at her friend for doing that. If that's who she's cool with, that's who she's cool with. Like people say, you love who you love. If that's a true statement, and a person loves doing loan closing, a person loves doing estate planning, let them love the part of business that they love. Respect that. But I see within this business, it's a lot of disrespect, and a lot of people really get angry at folk doing certain aspects, and primarily the loan closings. They really get upset that somebody would dare take a loan closing for any dollar amount less than 150. But yet none of these individuals, men or women, have ever come up with a plan or any kind of anything to say, here's how to get this notary wide. They don't talk about that. They're just like, I wouldn't do it if I was you, but you're not me. You get what I'm saying? So, like Jeff said, there's opportunities everywhere. Go with what resonates for you. I'm sitting here. I'm got a Home Depot over here, a Walmart over here, Starbucks, gas station, Hardee's, seven. People are going to the store that they cool with. So why can't I run my business, especially if I'm making money with it, with what works? Now, when you go into, you might have a favorite store like Hardee's. You need to know whenever you go into Hardee's, they're going to have the little yellow tent out and the floor going to be wet. But you like their burgers, you like their chicken, you like their drinks, you like whatever, you like what. But every time you go to Hardee's, you know the floor going to be wet and you're going to have to watch what you're doing. And there's going to be the little safety tent there saying, I wish I could remember how to say it in Spanish, but you know what I'm saying. That costule se le petele se la matala te tone, meaning you're gonna slip and fall and bust your butt if you ain't careful. So that's the best I can do in Spanish. I know it ain't no real Spanish, but my point is, even though this a hole in the wall restaurant, Bojack's pulled pork, got potholes in the parking lot, but you love the restaurant that you love. You're gonna go where you're gonna go there, and you like, yeah, I'm down with this. So what I'm saying is, you got to be careful of people who diss you for what you love to do and what you like to do and what you cool with doing. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. And the people that are out there doing it, you don't want anybody judging you. So don't judge them. Make the time and make it work because there's always tomorrow. Yeah. So, and you love GNW. It's all right. Here's the reason why I'm not so cool with GNW, because 9 out of 10 times I get a call for GNW work, it's another notary just fishing for pricing for their business. I'm serious. Because like a couple of weeks ago, I got a call. Guy was like, "Hey, we need this, that, and the other done." I was like, "All right, cool. I can meet you on this date and that." He said, "All right, cool." He called, and I said, "Well, I can't do it now because I was going out with my wife, and me and her had to go take care of some stuff. It was on a Friday, and I said I can't do it on Friday. I said I got stuff I have to do on Saturday, but I can take care of you on Sunday." Okay. He said, "All right, cool." So he calls me on Sunday at 10 a.m. He said he was going to church and all that. I said, well, he said, well, we're not going to church today. It's going to be online. And he said, so can you come by and get us taken care of? I said, yeah. I said, I can be there in 2 hours. Oh, well, nah, we not. I'm like, now all of a sudden you're not going to be there. I'm like, okay. Well, we're going to this place and that place. I said, no problem. I said, well, what about afterwards? Yeah, we'll give you a call. Never heard from him. So I'm sitting here like, okay, man, you just wasted my time. This is the reason why I have a problem with GNW, because a lot of the times I get phone calls from people who actually waste my time. This I haven't even got to the point of saying, oh, pay me a deposit or anything like that. This is just people wasting my time because they're just sitting here floating around trying to find the best, who got the pricing and all that kind of stuff. So I don't like that kind of stuff. That bugs the heck out of me. So it really does waste my time. And then when the people who do want to pay or want really are for real, or semi for real, their attitude is, oh, well, okay, see, I was thinking you were just going to charge $1. I have very little patience for that. I really, really do. Some people have the ability to work with folk like that and to convince them and to get them to realize that, hey, this is what it's going to cost. It's going to be $25 or $80 or whatever. I don't have that. Once I say the price, that's what it is. I'm not going back and forth with you. Well, how much for the notary? This and the other. Give me your details. Okay, it's going to be $85. Based on this, and I break it down to you. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, that much? Either you're going to pay it or you're not. And I'm not at a point in my life where I believe I can actually sustain my family by doing that, where I'm getting that 80 to 90% of the time. I'm not there yet because I don't have other revenue sources to support the family in order for me to go through that back and forth with people like that, even if it's just for a millisecond, because that's a sale that I don't get. Yeah, it's $85. Oh, well, I don't want to pay 85. Okay, bye. I mean, that's my attitude. Okay, bye. Because I already know if I start doing it for less, it's gonna be a problem because then you're gonna be like, well, I know you said 50, but all I got is 25. I'm not going through that. I ain't going through that. I'm sorry. I'm just not going through that whatsoever. I'm like, bump that. You know what I'm saying? So again, you have to know your tolerance, your risk tolerance, and all of that and everything, So what we got going on here? Right. So as you said, notary, this fits best for you. And this is all I'm asking y'all to do. Just work with what fits best for you. If you're a trainer, mentor, coach, respect the other notaries out here and stop trying to make them feel bad so you can earn a buck. Because that's what it is. It's like, hey, don't do estate planning because really loan closings is where it's at. I mean, and in order for you to do it, you need to take my course. It's like, okay, and let's just be real. Right now, these TMCs, a lot of them aren't. Some of them aren't stable from the standpoint of their business model because they keep switching up. One day they're into this, and the next day they're into that. Then they're doing this, then they're closing this, they're opening that, and after a while, it's like, okay, I need some stability, and I don't have time for doing all of that. I'm like, I need some stability, so I'm getting going, and I'm going in a direction. Then you're like, hey, you know what? That ain't it no more. And watch if the real estate market switches and refis and all that stuff start coming back, you're going to see every TMC switch over and say, hey, you need to take my new and improved course, which ain't nothing but the same thing, on how to get loan closings and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. They're going to be pushing that to the nth degree. But I thought you said a year or so ago, loan closings was dead and you need to move away from it. They going where the money's at. And that's all I'm asking you to do. You go where the money's at, because in your area, you might be popping with the money with loan closing. In another person's area, they might be doing great with general notary. In another person's area, they might be doing great with estate planning. Like down in Georgia, when I think it's something with the cosmetology. Either when they open a salon or close a salon, might be when they open it, they have to get a document notarized. That's a revenue stream. When people go to college, sometimes the parents want the kids to have a power of attorney in case something happens to their child, and they have the permission to, they got the power of attorney so they can take care of their affairs. There's all kinds of ways to bring in money. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. And then what else we got here? You say most GNW is cash. Yeah, that is right. No net 30 and all that kind of stuff. I agree with you, Frank. I agree with you. I agree with you. And then so ready to go hard. Yeah, go look. I have emailed the company multiple times. This, that, and the other still. Right. And if that's cloud signing, I understand. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with them. Um, I don't know. And see, I think you was the one that I had replied back. And Fingerprinting Guru could probably also can also confirm this or not. Because I think he's done work in the government contracting before, I think. But one of the things that I know is that if the company who's trying to bid for a government contract clearly doesn't have the infrastructure, we're going to just call it that, the infrastructure to take care of their employees, they won't even be allowed to bid. And if they do slide through the hoops, slide under the cracks and bid, they may not get awarded it, because sometimes in some cases you have to prove that you have the infrastructure to do to do this part of the business. So whatever you're bringing to the table, you have to show that you have the infrastructure. I think, as I thought about this today, companies like the lenders and the title companies may have to start requiring signing companies to prove that they have the infrastructure to pay notaries promptly. And the reason why I say that is, and irregardless of the dollar amount that you're supposed to get paid, if you've done work and you're supposed to get paid and this entity is taking forever to pay you, a quarter, taking a whole quarter, 90 days to pay you, and they've done all of this work, they've done 40, 50, $80,000 worth of work for these companies, title companies and lenders, but they're not paying the employees, or they're not paying the notaries that did the work. It's going to start negatively affecting that lender and that title company. Why? Because then notaries are going to be like, I don't want to work with that company no more. Why? Because they won't pay me. It's not that the notary work part is hard. It's the person who you use to select me won't pay me. And at some point in time, it's like, okay, well, do you have the ability to even effectively and efficiently and correctly run your business? Because they want us to, oh, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone. They want us to have the printer, the paper, the this, to that, but do they have the infrastructure to do what they're supposed to do? And if they don't, that's a problem. So that's something that popped in my head today. What are y'all thoughts on that? If y'all agree with that, throw a 2 in the chat. If you agree with that statement I just made, that it's imperative that, to me, everybody from the lender to the signing companies to disperse funds as needed to those who perform work for them. So the lender can't even loan money to the homeowner if they can't prove that they can pay the bills. If you can't pay the bill, we ain't loaning you no $400,000 for this refi. It's that simple. We're not giving you the money. In the story. So if the lender needs to, then the lender needs to be able to pay the title needs to be able to pay the signer needs to pay us. And if people don't have that infrastructure set in place, then why are you even in business? That's the question. Why would you be in business if you can't effectively pay somebody? So now the question is, what are you doing with the money? Because then the question becomes, how soon are the entities getting paid, minus the notary? How soon are they getting paid? And if you're getting paid within a week or two, why is it taking you so long to pay out? And if it's because you're overextended, which is the same reason why we don't pay our bills from a personal standpoint, we're overextended. And even if we do have the money coming in, we just got too much debt to deal with, or we want to go out here partying up, pop locking and break dancing every single night, going out to eat instead of cooking, going to every movie that pops up, so you can't pay your obligations. And see, we're an obligation to these companies. They're obligated to pay us. You get what I'm saying? And now this is that different company that's ignoring the pay. Oh, okay. But that's the thing. So in some cases, people have to prove that they have the wherewithal to pay money out to those who they're supposed to pay. And if you can't prove that you can take care of that, because the bigger company doesn't want any issues. They don't want any issues and anything negative coming back on their, 45 minutes it took me to get over here. They don't want any negative impact to their operations because somebody's not paying. They don't want that. And that's why I think it's important that if you're going to start a signing company, you most definitely need the infrastructure to pay people. And if you don't, then you probably shouldn't do that business. Just like we say, if you don't have the printer, the scanner, if you don't have a notary stamp, if you don't have a commission, if you don't have the things necessary to do your aspect of the business or what you're supposed to be doing, then don't do it. I mean, you would detest going to a barbershop and they don't even have clippers, or they got the clippers but they don't have the blades on the clippers. They don't have anything, any barbicide or any ship shape to disinfect their stuff. They don't have any clipper spray to oil the clippers, and then you sitting up here and they keep nicking you and cutting you, and you leave there with a fresh fade, but you got little cuts and nicks and bleeding down the back of your head. You don't want that. You don't want somebody who don't know how to base your hair before they put the relaxer in it. You don't want somebody who don't know how to do the color right. Oh wow, I don't have enough peroxide. I don't have enough this. So let me run to the store. And now they got to run to the store and over process your hair. And the next thing you know, your stuff is falling out. You want to be with people who got the tools to do their job. And it's important for people to be able to have the tools necessary to do the jobs. There's all these payment systems out here. There's all these ways of transferring money, but individuals still, well, I ain't gonna want to pay you. I ain't gonna pay. I mean, I'm gonna pay you, but I'm, when I get back from vacation. So you just the money you paying me is what supposed to help you while you at the casino? Nah, that ain't right. That ain't right and stuff. So let me look at some of these comments here. Since day since day one found of doing signings, I found it to be easy and straightforward, but I also found it horrible with the paying out. Correct, correct. He said now it's a different company that is ignoring me about my check, and I've jumped through hoops for them last year, and I speak Spanish. I also get a lots of orders when I'm free, but no. And then it said last night they sent me 2 orders ASAP. This company that won't pay me, I hit not available. And this is what's happening. This is what's going on. And this is why I think some of the trainers are doing a shift. See, everybody keeps focusing on trying to get the notaries to do better, which we do, but nobody is focusing on the signing companies. And I know I'm putting myself out there. And there are some great signing companies. Okay. There are. But there are some companies that won't do right. And I get it that you don't like doing closings, you don't like being out there in the street, you can't be out there for whatever reason. But don't have 40, 50, $80,000 worth of business coming through you, and then you can't pay out or won't pay out in a timely manner. And I know there are some cases where the lender is taking their time paying the title, and the title is taking their time paying the signing company. I get that. But again, checks and balances, and there should be some kind of way that we have some kind of agreement that in order to make things better overall in this industry for the end user, which is the consumer, the person who's buying, selling, or refinancing, we got to get it together to where we deal with each other respectfully. So if I get paid, if the lender gets the money sent out to them and they have the money and they release it to the title needs to release it to the signing, and then the signing needs to release it to us. It's that simple. But if you're trying to hold on to money so you can try to earn a whole bunch more interest in your high yield interest accounts, but yet you got me sitting here struggling till you finally pay me, that's not right. And then you wonder why notaries got an attitude about going back and fixing stuff. It's like, okay, well then pay me. Well, you missed an initial, pay me. Well, after you do the thing, we want you to scan immediately after, then pay me. Pay me. You want me to stop making money because the person who I'm about to do after you is going to pay me in 2 weeks. So I'm doing you, but you take 2 months to pay me, and I got somebody who going to pay me in 2 weeks. I'm doing an order for them and I get to your scans later. That's what I've been hearing notaries say. This is what's going on. Because when you start thinking about it and looking at it logically, if I got 40 orders a month coming in and I got at least 15 of them that's going to pay me quickly, I'm going to make sure those get done. I'm going to still do yours, but I'm going to take care of the people who I know that's going to pay me quickly. They got a quick turnaround. That's why so many people do everything they can to get those from signature closers, because signature closers and BankServe, they pay out. And they are bigger organizations. They're not the mom and pop signing companies. So they're bigger organizations as well as Old Republic, and they will pay out. And just like the people on SnapDocs, that's why as much as people talk smack about SnapDocs, I love SnapDocs because I get notifications all the time. Hey, in 8 to 10 days, here's your money. In 8 to 10 days, here's your money. 8 to 10 days, here's your money. I'm like, all right, bet. Other platforms, the individuals on there, yeah, we got you in we got you. When did you say? I didn't say when. I just said we got you. So how long is that? When we got you. That's how long that is. We got you when we got you. But when you gonna pay me? I got you. I got you. What else you need from me? You get what I'm saying? You know, he said true, very true payment terms from the sign of service ideally should match, yeah, with the term. It should, because it's a pass through. It's not a sit and hold. The money is not a sit and hold. It's here's your money, and a portion of that money goes to these people over here. But you're holding on to it. And I'm not saying anything and I'm not trying to call out anybody, so don't take this offensively, signing companies. But this is just, and I get it. I get it. And I personally know there are some signing companies working their butts off. But the people who are paying them take forever. But they are good clients from the standpoint they got money coming to them. They just got to wait for it, which means we got to wait for ours. I get that. But that's not everybody. That is truly not everybody. Because some of the signing companies, these same signing company I'm thinking of, I know she'll go ahead on if they're paying her right, she'll pay everybody else. So I know that there's companies that when I get the money, it's flowing. It's flowing out to you. But there's other people, they see dollar signs and they know that they get a Marcus or a Wealthfront high yield interest, high interest savings account. They throw it in that or whatever bank. They say, hey, we got this account over here. And then if they have it set up to where they can only draw money out, because some companies, depending on, you get this high yield interest rate, this money, but you can only take out so many deposits. And if you take out too many, then we're going to charge you. So if their limit is 10 withdrawals per month, they got to wait. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff matters. So that means you got to have the infrastructure. That means you probably have to get a different business account. Maybe have a account that the money comes in, and then maybe it goes into get a different account that you might not get as much interest on, but you can have 50 withdrawals a month. Maybe that'll work. I don't know, but you got to do something with that. But again, people look at what works for them or what benefits them and all of that. So I'm gonna hop on off here, do this house inspection, get this done, and maybe knock out this third one that I picked up. But transitioning over to general notary work, you got to really plan it out, and you got to look at what your market is and make sure. And I still believe that you're going to have to be willing to travel to other areas of your cities and stuff like that in order for you to effectively grow that part of your business. You got to, because not every order is going to be 10 minutes from you. Not every order is going to be right in your backyard. Not every order is going to be people come to your house. And then if you don't want people coming to your house, then what? Now you're going to sit here and start a GNW aspect of your business and rent out a place. And if the people like, I can't come, you get what I'm saying? So you got to think it through, and don't do it out of being frustrated that you're not getting paid over here, because that frustration, you could then turn around and out of frustration and anger for what you're not making over here, you could end up unjustly charging people because you're like, well, I ain't getting paid over here, but I'm going to get paid over here. And then you start, in a sense, punishing the general public for what's happening negative to you. And you could be doing it subconsciously because it's like, well, I'm charging them. I mean, because you like that $100 or that 85 that you're getting from the signings, you just ain't getting it in your bank account fast enough. So what do you want? You want that $85 in your bank account quicker, but the order that you're getting ready to do for Fred is only worth 35. So you come up with some excuse to make it to where you can charge him an extra 50. That kind of stuff I don't think is right. And there's people out there doing it. And y'all know that. Y'all might even be cool with them. And I'm cool with some of them. But it's still not right. You get what I'm saying? It's still not right. So anything else? Any other questions or comments or thoughts on this subject? You know, it's been a while since I've done a daytime live. So I just happen to have the time and everything. But love the part of the business that you love. You grow this business, because guess what? If everybody stopped trying to train and mentor and coach and all of that, each one of us still got to do this business. Each one of us is still responsible for taking orders and not taking orders. Each one of us is still responsible for paying our bills. Each one of us. My next video, which I was going to do before this one, but I'm going to do it either later, if I can, later tonight or maybe tomorrow. And I don't know if I should do it live or not, but I was going to talk about what to do if I'm asked to mentor somebody, because I hear people saying they're getting asked to people saying, I want to mentor. So what should a notary do if they're being asked to mentor somebody? That's the subject. That's the next subject I want to talk about this week. I don't know if I should save it for Fritter Friday. What's today? Wednesday? I might just say that for Fritter Friday. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, today is Wednesday. I'm going to say that one for Fritter Friday. So for Fritter Friday, we're going to talk about what do I do when somebody asks me to mentor them? Should I mentor them? All of that. And even talk about going into doing social media for his YouTube and all of that. So I'm gonna address that too. Because a lot of people want to start the YouTube channels and stuff to make extra money, or as a way to mentor people. But there's some things you got to factor in that I don't think a lot of people actually do. And then you end up causing more harm than good. So I'm gonna talk about that on Friday. Yeah, I forgot the date. If it was Tuesday when I do it, I might do it early, but this is Wednesday, so I'm gonna use Thursday to prep for that. All right, y'all have a good one. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day and stay safe out there. As always, if you need any help or anything, hit me up in the comments and all that. Talk to y'all later. Peace.